Welcome to a Sunday morning. Praise God for a little bit of rain last night. Actually, there's a lot of rain last night. At least, komportable tulog na iba sa inyo. Iba medyo masyadong komportable kasi medyo mating. That's fine. That's good. What a song. I bring an offering to you. Have you ever wondered? I mean, I love offerings, and I obviously love worship. My brother and myself actually introduced praise and worship change or shift sa church natin ito. I love worship, and I'm part of Global Praise. I'm a part of Balikatan, kung saan pinanganak Global Praise. And I'm all for worship. I'm obviously all about, giving and serving the Lord. Andun din ako eh. I'm at that level. You know me enough. Nandiyan na. I'm there. But have you ever wondered, kasi yung worship and offering, sa Genesis pa lang, it was already a requirement by God. You remember, from the creation, and he saw all that he had created, and it was good. Psalm chapter 19 says, the heavens declare the glory of God. The earth talks about the beauty and power of God. And the Bible says, if you don't worship him, the rocks and stones, they cry out. It means yung earthquake sa California, the big one already. But gumala na earthquake sa atin, I remember nung summer, magkatabi kami ni Pastor Carlo, dalawang heavyweights. Yung sila namin umuga, akala niya, pinatitripan ko siya, inuga ko yung chair niya. Akala ko naman, pinatitripan ko niya ako, inuga niya yung chair ko. Tingin na kaming dalawa. Hindi kami nag-uugahan. Nasabi ko, really good. The wind last night was perfect. Bakit ba ito? When ang init-init and then the rain comes down, bam! Tapos lakas ng hangin na sobrang lakas, binali ni Drew yung payo mo. Umuwi siya naka-letter L. Yung lakas ng hangin eh. Kaganyan yan. Inaway mo yung hangin. Nag-letter L yung payo and all of that stuff. The animals we play with. Ano yung pastor is saying? Those all shout out about a creative and powerful God. Studying the rocks and the stones will cry. Even if we don't praise His name, all of creation will talk about the beauty of God. Marami na ako nakitang beautiful things. Obviously, I've been many places all over the world. I've seen a lot of beautiful things, great-looking things, man-made stuff. Been to museums. I've been to, the Smithsonian Museum, hindi natural of art and beautiful stuff. Pero iba pa rin pag nakakita ka ng nature. I remember standing in front of the great Niagara Falls. Tumayo ko sa waterfalls na yun. Tapos sabi mo, ay grabe, uwi na. Oo. Ikaw na malayo Sa Pilipinas na lang. You stand on top of the mountain. I remember when we went to kila Pastor Benny sa Lumutan, you stand on the top of the mountain, ang aga-aga, tapos the sun begins to come out. Pero may fog pa, so you see a sea of clouds on the thing, and you're like, man, no amount of digital thing can defeat this. Grabe. It just shouts out about God. What are you trying to get to, Pastor? With all that beauty and all that excellence and all that greatness, don't you ever wonder how sometimes why God would want my worship? Napaisip ko ito God, really? Seriously? Ang galing-galing mo, ang laki-laki mo, ang yaman-yaman mo, ano ba kaya mo sa worship ko? Gusto mo yun? You mean you want me to give my offering? You give me 100% and you ask me in the Old Testament for 10% back? Really? If you give me my voice and my talent and my ability, kung anong malaki o maliit man meron doon, and you really want that back? So much imperfections. Tapos gusto mo yun? You really desire that? You know? And then when we come to the modern era, now worship is like American Idol. Again, I don't mind modern things. I get that. I get the spotlights and the special effects and the laser stuff. I mean, that's cool, you know. I don't have a problem with that. I also don't have a problem with the high music. Huh? I don't have a problem with the praise God from whom all blessings flow R&B version. I don't have a problem with classical praise God from whom all. I can do that too. I know how to sing that way. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with like great guitar music and watch Josh and the band do their thing. You know, I'm cool with that. And I can do orchestra. I've sang orchestras and it's wow. You know? But at the same time, with all of that, you mean God actually wants my worship? Or do we really understand what worship is? That is the question of the day. Kasi kung makahiling tayo ng mga tao, wala bang, ako naisip ko sa sarili ko eh. Kung makahiling tayo sa kanta, sa paglilingkod sa Panginoon, sa pagbibigay, sa pagsiserve kay God, sa pag-preach, sa pag-calling, kung doon sabihin niya, kaya nga ako nakaganito, pastor, parang pasok para mamamasyalo sa medyo I want it to be as plain and simple as possible. Such is the look for the day. Bakit? I remember sitting in a service just recent, couple of weeks, a month ago or so. Man, bago mag-start yung service, ang daming pasyon. Lumakad yung pastor sa gitna ng ang ingay na service, doon tayo interview tayo ng lahat. Pwede kong gawin next Sunday para bagay sa akin sa personality ko. Pastor, good morning! Morning sa iyo. Morning sa iyo. Masaya-saya maglingkod kayo doon. Nakakatuwa mag-serve sa kanya. Ha. Sumakit na tayo. Yung gano'n, bago umabot sa opening prayer, man, dami. Inayos dito. May mga dami. Okay lang mo yung pastor. Walang masama ng trip. You know, kung nakikindi ka dyan, sige, go ka lang. But it made me think, is that what God really means when He comes and says, you worship me in spirit and in truth? Or hindi lang ba talaga natin naiintindihan kung anong ibig sabihin ng worship? O hindi lang ba natin naiintindihan that worship is not a song? Worship is not an offering. Worship is not giving just simply deciding to volunteer for ministry or say, hey God, guess what? You called me, I call you back. I've seen pastors flaunt their calling. I've seen pastors power trip. Touch not God's anointed. Touching yung mukha mo, hindi mo sa kanya. I've seen pastors do that. I've seen young men and women talk about God calling them and they're anointed by God. They don't understand. They don't understand. And so I look at the Bible and I was like, ano to? Panginoon, tell me, Lord. You know, what are we talking about here, God? When we talk about what a true worshiper looks like, at the end of all the this is the last one. And this sums up the whole thing. Kunin mo lahat ng B natin, be strong, be courageous, be holy, be obedient, lahat ng mga biniyang, pagsamahin mo, it sums up into this today. That's where it lands. That's where it lands. You see, when we talk about worship, worship truly is, according to Tom 10, and I love how it says it, to worship is to seek the heart of the king, not the splendor of the kingdom. Ano sabihin nun? Yung hanapin mo yung puso ng hari, hindi yung makita mo yung rangya ng kaharian niya. Ngayon, puro karangyaan ng kaharian eh. Pasok sa church, whether maliit o malaki. Overkill, parang 5-star hotel, American Idol yung church. Tapos magpasok, rakrakan tayo for Jesus. Woo! I get that, that's fine with me. Again, hindi ko ako nagpauso yung din sa akin. So. And then there are those who do the same thing, pero dakmak naman ng mga ritual. Hindi ganun din yun. Pinatahimik mo lang, maingay pa rin. Tama ba ako? Maalingaw pa rin. Tama po ba? Pag ako po'y nakamaong at naka-long sleeve, nakasimpleng ganito, o subukan kong magsuot kung sinusot ko pag-graduation, alam mo, ang hindi ito bigyan. Alam niyo yun, ha? Dahil kita Eden, kasi palibasa yung kanya bibili kong ganun sa divisory eh. Ha? Yung maraming ganun-ganon, saka may sombrero, tapos susuot ko ito, gagawin kong kwintas. Ganon din eh. Pinatahimik lang natin eh. Pero yung sumatotal, ganon din eh. Maingay pa rin eh. Hindi ba? Because true worship, is to seek the heart of the King. Not just the splendor of the kingdom. Kaya tuloy, ang maraming generasyon, not just today, but let me talk about today, mga kabataan, not just today, but let's talk about today. That's the problem of the church, the common person today. Woo! Nag-worship ako. Man, ang saya. Talaga. Ano nangyari? Kasi yung kanta, tapos yung kanta, tapos yung kumanta, tapos kumanta eh. Tapos kumanta. Tapos tumayo si pastor. Tapos kumanta. Mga classmates ko, lumapit sa akin several years ago. Alam mo, grabe church namin nung youth rally namin kasi ganito. Tapos may mga ganito, tapos may mga himatay, tapos may mga ganito. Ang dami. Sabi ko, wow, that's awesome. Galing. Galing. I'm all for God's will be fine. Tapos, sabi niya, anong tapos? Sabi ko, tapos? Ano sabi tapos? Anong pinagawa ng Lord sa'yo? Mas ako. Maraming tao sa church. Paglabas mo ng church, sabi mo, sarap mag-church today. And I'm glad, thank you. What did God tell you? What did God ask? What was He trying to say? Because if worship matters to God, I don't write long, pag nakita ko na kulto ako. Let's just take a moment. If worship matters to God, then worship should matter to you. Kung mahalaga ang papuri sa Panginoon, dapat mahalaga ito sa iyo. Sometimes we go to church, but we don't worship. Ano na, Pastor? We sing songs, but we don't worship. We listen to sermons, but we don't worship. We serve in ministry areas, but we don't worship. All of these things are elements of worship, but they are not worship in and of themselves. Which means that you can do all of them and yet fail to truly worship God. Because, akin ay dulo, sa kanya sa taas. Because true worship is a destination, not an actuation. Linawin ka, may hindi niya mamaya. It results in an intimate walk with God that impacts others. True worship is transformational. Wala po tayong makikitang encounter sa Bible na mayroong true encounter with God that does not transform. Maybe hindi 180 degrees nag-transform agad. Pero there ought to be a slow chipping away of the old stuff. Si old James, old ugali James, mga bakit na hindi dapat nandun until you one day come to a point where you say to God, God, you have changed me. Otherwise, I'm sorry to say, I'm glad you're here. Pero religious ka lang. Naka-church ka lang. Pastor, ganyan ka lang, ganyan mag-preach. Hindi magiging mega church ang IBC. Guess what? My dad never asked about it. Never prayed about it. Why should I? Meron mga mega churches, let them be. Kasi sabi ng Panginoon, kanya-kanya sagot naman tayo sa Panginoon. Problema nun din kanila. You know? This is my plate. I'll worry about this. You see, what? Worship is a destination, not an actuation. Hindi an actions. Dapat meron kang kahihinatnan. Okay? So Pastor, let's understand. Let me give the background. Kasi ito yung kwento. This is Isaiah. Isaiah was a prophet. Obviously. By the time of this writing, there was a famous king na magaling din na king. His name was King Uzziah. Sikat si King Uzziah. Only problem with Uzziah was, towards the end, naging disobedient talaga na husto si Uzziah. And Uzziah, towards the end, became a leprous. Became a leprous patient. At hanggang sobrang lala ng leprosy keto ni Uzziah, he was no longer able to rule the kingdom or be with his family. So, the whole nation went into depression. Kasi magaling si Uzziah eh. No? And what happened was, Uzziah had died. Now Isaiah, basta magkakaano si Uzziah at saka si Isaiah, wala po, magkakalog lang. Inisip itong iba eh. Now Isaiah had a vision from God. See, Isaiah was already popular dito sa time na to. But God had a different idea. God was about to promote Isaiah into possibly the greatest prophet of his generation. Even more than that. Okay? Ever si Isaiah, he's already a prophet, known by many people, but God was thinking ito. You see, segue lang ako ha. God wants to bring you to a place much higher, more significant than where you currently are. Naintindihan mo yun? Gusto kang dalahin ng Panginoon sa isang lugar sa buhay mo na mas mataas at mas makabuluhan sa kung nasaan ka ngayon. Ang susi ay worship. If God will bring you to a place where He wants you to be, not where you want to be. Your family to where He wants you to be, not where you want to be. Your life, your influence, lahat ng bagay, if God will take you there, and I'm sure everybody wants that, the issue is worship. And so Uzziah was there, and he says, and I saw the Lord, incredible Lord, the Adonai. Each name of God has different meaning and significance. Ito, Adonai. Kailangan niya si Adonai. A high name of God. And He was sitting in a lofty throne. And the train of His robe filled the temple. He described it in vision here. Attending to Him was a mighty seraphim, each having 6 wings. You imagine na, bakit 6 wings, Pastor, ang seraphim? Ang seraphim po ay mga angels around the throne of God, the Bible says. Pero ang seraphim, because God is so holy, kailangan niyang 6 na pakpak. No? 2 sa paa, dalawang malaki sa katawan, at sa mukha. Okay? The seraphim, wow! Talaga, ganun kabanal ang Panginoon. And they covered their feet, and with 2 they flew, and they calling out to each other, Holy, 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 the Lord of the heaven's armies. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of heaven's armies. Yan lang ang kinakanta ng seraphim. All day long, 24/7, for millions of years, yan lang ang kanta nila. Walang iba. The elders sing, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come. Sabutan yan around the throne of God. Yan ang worship. No? Yan ang worship group sa langit. No? Tapos yung mga worship team mag-aaway kung sino mas bigat. Kapal na mga I'm not talking about here. It's a common thing. Tapos, yung mga instrumentalist, lahat gusto lead. Lahat na singer, uma-adlib. Lahat gusto malakas ang mic. Kulang na, isubo yung mic. Eh, samantala itong perfect angels, eh, hindi makatayo sa harapan ng Panginoon. I know pastors, I'm sorry, but they're wrong. I know pastors na bawal tumungtong ang tao sa harapan. Kasi banal to siya lang pwede. Okay. I know pastors na bawal ang member hawakan ng pulpit. Kasi makapangyarihan, baka mamatay ka. Ano na si Toro? Sa Pilipinas yan. Hindi kulto yan. Baptist yan ba eh? I know pastors na bawal hawakan ng Bible nila. Kasi banal yun. I know pastors who say, Bible mo dito kasi nasa tablet. Pero kung makapangyarihan itong Bible ko, may 50 Bible version lang dito. Pati Apocalypse pa nga nagdamit. Kapag nagpaluhan tayo, panalo ko sa makapangyarihan ito, paano? But that's what they saw. Their voice shook the temple of its foundations, and the entire building was filled with smoke. Then I said, it's all over. Look, interesting ang reply. Backread. Ayan ang nakita niya. Okay? Ang sagot niya parang irrelevant. Sabi niya, it's all over! I am doomed! For I am a sinful man. I have filthy lips. And I live with people with filthy lips. Yet I have seen the King, the Lord of the heaven's armies. The one of the seraphim flew to me with a burning coal he had taken from the altar, with a pair of tongs, and he touched my lips. Na-promote si Isaiah. Yan ang promotion ni Isaiah. From regular prophet to mega prophet. Okay? Touch your lips. Now your guilt is removed and your sins are forgiven. Then I heard what the Lord was asking. Notice the word, then. Ibig sabihin, before this time, hindi naririnig ang sinasabi ng Panginoon. Bago sa point na yan, andun siya. Marinig sa akin. Kaya maraming mga tao na sa church, pero hindi na naririnig ang sinasabi ng Panginoon. Kaya maraming mga tao na sa church, nakikinig ng preaching, pero hindi naririnig ang sinasabi ng Panginoon sa kanila. Pastor, I'm still lost. Don't worry, I'll take you there. Para akong taxi, UV Express, sisingit ako kayo. And then I heard what the Lord is asking. May hinihingi pala si Lord sa kanya. Alam niyo, mahirap natin mapakinggan yung hinihingi ng Panginoon kung wala tayong ginawa kundi humingi. Mahirap natin mapakinggan yung plano ng Panginoon sa buhay natin kung masyadong tayong busy tungkol sa buhay natin. We won't hear. Promise you. What God was asking, whom should I send as a messenger to this people? Prophet na siya. Who will go for us. I said, here I am. Send me. Nag-volunteer. Kanina, it's all over. Ngayon, nag-volunteer na. Kanina, hindi ko na kaya. Ngayon, nag-volunteer na. Kanina, talo na ako. Ngayon, nag-volunteer na. You see? Hindi na problema ng maraming generasyon ngayon, ang mga kabataan ngayon. No? Mga kabataan ngayon, parang talunan. Konting bagay, iya. Konting bagay, di kaya. Konting bagay, bulag ka. Konting bagay, sinaktan ako. Konting bagay, ayoko na. Konting bagay, nahirapan ako. Ikaw, tumayo ka nga dyan. Nagkakagulo ng Pilipinas. Kailangan itong Kristiyano, kailangan itong magagawa. Bakit? Gusto ko gawin to eh. Kuha ko ng hot coal. I-cleansing ko yung mga estudyante. Pastor, estudyante, gayahin natin dito. So you got a chip on your back. Oh, I got a major chip on my back. Bakit, Pastor? Look at what true worship is. I don't know about the finish this today. I know what that. Pag sinabi natin true worship, according to Isaiah's experience, true worship, first and foremost, is an upward worship. Pastor, ano sabihin? Notice what he says. And I saw the Lord, and he was sitting on the lofty throne. It's not an actuation, it's a destination. And the goal is only toward God. Interesting kasi yung word na lofty, ibig sabihin po niya mataas. The Hebrew word for lofty is not just simply mataas. Kung hindi, maganda sa Tagalog eh, hindi po ito mataas, kung hindi pinataas. Naintindihan niyo? Magkaiba po yung mataas at pinataas. Okay. The word lofty here comes from the Hebrew word room, which means it is made to be set up higher than anyone else. No one is higher. It is to be mounted and planted higher with pride and sovereignty. With pride and sovereignty, Isaiah saw, habang nag-worship si Isaiah at the temple, Isaiah saw not a God, but a high and mighty, higher, taller, bigger God. That's what he saw. And as much as I love modern worship, as much as I love doing praise and worship, parang pakiramdam ko minsan, pag nag-worship tayo, pag nag-pray tayo, pag nag-offering tayo, parang mag-fist bump mo si God. Ano yung sabi niyo, Pastor? Dalay ko kayo Malacanang, makarap mo si Presidente Duterte, whether you like him or not. Pinakalala kang gano'n, pagpasok mo sa loob ng Malacanang, nakaganyan siya. Lalapit ka ba kay Presidente? At sasabihin sa kanya, Press! Tama? Is that what you do? Press! Truly kahit ka. Ha? Umasok at kapag set picture na ako eh. Ako ba ako makipag-away? Ito sa Presidente. Pero, yan, umasok ka. Uy! I'm ushered into Malacanang, the holiest of holy places sa Pilipinas, Philippine politics. Lahat ng politiko nangangarap. Yan. Napapasok ako. Simpleng tao lang. Ay ito oh, nakamaong at t-shirt lang sa Arabian shoes. No. Pumasok ako. Whoa! What's up, Press? What's going on? What's up? Okay. Woo! Peace bump, Press! Woo! Elbow Press! Peace bump ulit! Bam! Thank you, Press! Is that what you do? Yan ba yung asal ng dissenting tao? Magalang na tao? Matinong tao? Napapasok sa Malacanang? Meeting the President? God is cool. And you understand, but you know what? True worship is an upward motion. Bago kayo mag-fist bump ni God, God, kilalanin mo muna kung sino siya. Hindi Diyos na maliit yan.
Amen.
Bago ka mag-offering, hindi dahil may pera ka marami. Bago ka mag-preach, before you sing, before you hear your calling, give me a break. That's a holy God. You don't just come to God and say, what's up, God? Ito po ako, I'm cool. You don't do that. In all things that you have, in your family, in your job, in your marriage, in your personal walk with God, you regard God as holy. Ito yung paborito tao, God is love. God is generous. God will bless. God will do this. God will do this. Lahat na gagawin ng Panginoon. Ha? And this generation will remind you of who He is and who we are talking to, praying to, singing to, making promises to come with respect and reverence. I'm all for worship. Again, I'm Mr. Worship Guy. I mean, when I came to IBC and introduced worship, there were a few members, ilang marami kapitbahay that even wrote me a 3 or 4 page yellow paper saying kung paano pinurap ko na IBC, sinira ko na dahil yung mga kanta sa job mo lahat. At yung Bible versions, hindi na yung King James. I still use the King James for doctrine and teaching, by the way. But we come into God and we sing and we play music and we do what we do. Kasi, you know, cool si God eh. Fist bump God. Bam! We're all caught up with the, you know, His love, His kindness, huh? His mercy, He's generous. May I remind you that that God, whom you casually obey, casually give, casually serve, casually disregard, that same God is holy and perfect and righteous, a keeper of promises, demands promises. He's the King of kings, Lord of all lords, and the creator of everything. That God is that God. That's what Isaiah saw. So when you sing and you pray, you make promises and you give, Mama, in the offering, be faithful. Okay, basta tumayo dyan. Okay, basta magbukas ng Bible, sabi mo mag-quiet time ka, mag-quiet time ka, hindi nyo naman naintindihan kung kinuwayat nyo. Para lang masabi ng devotion kayo. Para lang masabi sumunod kayo. At masabi sa ibang tao na quiet time kayo. Kaya ayoko yung pag-fasting kasi ina-announce, violation of scripture yan. Pag in-announce mo yan, hindi na fasting yan. Fasting blood sugar yun. Mapag-usap ka pagkatapos. Sabi ng Panginoon, usap tayo, fasting ka, sa closet tayo na. You don't announce. You don't, sabi ng Bible, you don't walk around looking somber. Ano yung looking somber? Yung mga kabanal ganun eh. No? Yung mga kawawa, gusto ka na. You don't put a drama everywhere so people will catch your attention. Nakawawa ka naman, nadidil ka ng Panginoon. Get into your house and pray. You don't do that. Pambabastos sa Panginoon yun. Magbibigay ka, wala sa puso, ninakaw yung passport niya. Maglilingkod ka, hindi kinakaayos. Magpe-pray ka, hindi. Suwayan ka sa utos niya, pero kung makakasta ka sa so-called ministry, kala mo sino ka, you don't do that. You don't realize the Holy God. You don't realize that angels have to have 6 wings to come in front of God. All you need to do is to have have 2 feet. Pastor, you're Wanda. Oh, I'm Wanda. This message was finished before the first one ever started. So when you pray, when you sing, when you make promises to God, when you give to God, be faithful, be trustworthy. Maging katiwa-tiwala ka. Pag pinagbala ka ng Panginoon, maging katiwa-tiwala ka. Pag may lakas ka, maglingkod ka ng tapat. Kaya tumayo sa harapan o maglinis ng siya, maging tapat ka sa Panginoon. Kung kakanta ka, whether nasa banyo ka o nasa harapan, ang puso mo pareho pa rin dapat.
Amen.
Understand that when you approach a king, when you approach God, bow down and worship. Because it's easy to forget God if you forget His character. Kaya mga tao nakakalimot sumunod sa Panginoon. Kasi nakakalimutan natin kung sino kausap natin. Pag nakakalimutan mo kung sino kausap mo, makakalimutan mo kung paano kang dapat makitungo sa Kanya. Tama po ba yun? You remember nung naupo si Presidente? Umikot sa Metro Manila na kamotor? Tapos pumasok sa mga government buildings? Ayaw siyang papasukin? Siga pa yung mga polis? Okay mo naman yun. Ikaw man na pumasok doon, nakamotor lang. Eh, naka-helmet? No. Nag-iba usapan, tinagal yung helmet. Ay! Naku! You know? I remember my father and I, we were farming. Mga antipolo dito eh. Bahay bus-bus kami first year. Nag-opting ko, yung tatay ko, mas halimo sa farm niya kaya sa amin. May dumating na senator. Gusto makipag-usap kay Dad. Eh ano kami sa malalim na ilog? Magpipiko eh. Lapit siya gano'n eh. Pwede po mo makausap si Dr. Tica. Yung magkatabi kami, tumatawa na ako sa buyari ito. Pa-security mo, nakapayong pa eh. Si Daddy, pipiko nakatawag doon. Sa lakot ba yun? Nakagalaw, nagpipiko. Tumayo sa harapan, nagbabalik na, tinatapos sa putikan eh. At dito daw po si Dr. Tica, hinahanap ko po, pwede po makausap. Sabi ko, tinignan ako parang, talaga ba? Dati naman, tuloy-tuloy lang. No. Sabi niya, boy, hindi. Ang hinahanap ko si Dr. Tica. Sabi ko, kilala ko po, kailan mo ba yun? Sabi ko po, tatay ko po yun. Nasaan siya? Ito po katabi ko. Ayaw pa rin maniwala, no? Laki na sa lakot niya, Pats eh. Tinanggal. Sino ko, pagtingin. Binulungan ng sekretary. Alam ko na kung ano siyabi. Boss, ganyan. Pag gano'n na wala kayo, no, kamusta po? Magandang hapon po. Eh, dinayo po kayo dito eh. Bilang niyo yung usapan. Kung ano, magsasaka na yung usap eh. Taas na boses eh. Diba? Bakit? Kasi nakilala niya kung sino pala yung kausap niya. Maraming Kristiyano, walang kwentang maglingkod sa Panginoon, hindi tapat magbigay sa Panginoon. Ha? Susipot lang sa simbahan para magsimba kasi nakakalimutan natin kung sino po talaga yung sinasamba natin. Kung tayo-tayo lang yan, please bang tayo? Walang problema, dalawa yung bigay ko sa'yo, may simba pa. Kung tayo-tayo lang yan, walang problema. Swak lang. Pero hindi. It's easy to forget God when we forget His character. Because, ano Brad? Masukot sa sa'yo. Ano to you and me? God is not your God. He is your King. God's not your buddy. He's your King. Mas ba sa Tagalog? Gusto ko Tagalog. Diyos ang kausap mo, hindi ko kapag umayos ka. Eh, pag nag-pray ka, maayos ka. Pag kumanta ka, hindi mo sinabi lahat perfect ang tanong. Pero alam nyo, mas marami kong kilang sintonado ng tao ng puso na sa tono sa Panginoon. Pakinggan nyo mabuti. Mas marami kong kailang sintonadong tao, pero ang puso nasa tono sa Panginoon. Napakarami ko na nakita. I remember being in the States many years ago, my sister and I sitting together. Merong kumantang magkakapatid. Ang galing kumanta. Nag-concert sila. Sobrang galing talaga. As in, wow! Ang galing kumanta. It's a trio. Ang galing na kumanta. And standing ovation pagkatapos, right? Natapos yung concert sa church yun. Malaki-malaking church. Yung pastor tumayo, oh, I see, our old pastor, Pastor Emeritus, si retired na. Mga 83, 84, 85 years old. Pastor, would you please come to the front and close us in prayer? Dilumapit, tagan! So yung mga kumakanta, parang nakasal sila kasi bilang parang anti-climatic naman ito, dati na concert namin. Kasi kung makaastay ko nga singin, ang gagaling nga naman, kaya lang, but then yung mga active behavior, sabi ko, yung mga singer, kala mo kung sino naiinip sila eh. Dahil anti-climactic yung cancer, natagugol sila. Tumayo yung matanda, ang lumakit, 83 years old, tumayo sa harapan, sabi ng pastor, sabi niya, hey, would you like to sing? Because I know the pastor sings yung muharap verse. Papakanta pa. Tumayo yung matanda, tapos kumanta yung matanda, tapat sa Panginoon, buong buhay naglingkod sa Diyos, tumayo sa harapan, kumanta ng isang acapella song. Ang pangalan, He Giveth More Grace. When the burden grows greater, send it more strength. When the labors increase, to added affliction, He adds His mercy. To multiply trials, His multiplied peace. His love knows no limit. His power is beyond the boundaries of man. For out of His infinite riches in Jesus, He gives and gives and gives again. Natapos yung maiksing chorus, walang standing ovation. Lahat ng tao, 3,000 tao, iiyak na. At nagpupuro sa Panginoon. Sabihin mo sa akin kung sino nasa tono puso. Tapos kung maka-pray yung marami sa akin dito, ha? Quiet time. Bakit ka pa sa hindi ka nakakatulong pag nag-pray ka parate? Minsan sa pagod ko, pag-pray ko gano'n, pag-isip ko, sorry Lord, hindi ko alam kung nangyari sa atin dalawa, nag-usap lang tayo. Ha? Nawala yung wifi ko eh. Pero alam nyo, mas mabuting makatulog dahil nananangin. Ha? Kaysa makatulog dahil nagsubo. Mas mabuting mapagod dahil naglingkod kaysa mapagod dahil kumita ka ng pera. Pastor, pwede ka lang maglingkod sa trabaho. Why did not say you did it? Because even your job should be a worship to God. Because you were made for worship. Kaya Brad, ulitin ko, mag-ayos ka. Diyos ang kausap ko. Last thing, I know, man, kaya kasi makakapag. Pag pinag-usapan natin ng worship, it's not just an upward motion. True worship is also an inward examination. True worship is an inward examination. Kasi ang totoong worship will expose the true conditions of your heart. Do you remember anong sabi ni Isaiah when he encountered God? It's all over. I am sinful. Nung nakasalubong niya, kung sino talaga ang Diyos, nagbago yung pananaw niya. Kasi nakita niya, look, I am doomed, for I am a sinful man, I have filthy lips, and I live with people with filthy lips. Wow. This is a prophet. Prophet too, and he was not away from the will of God. God was about to promote the guy. Ipopromote na ng Panginoon. But true worship brought him to the true conditions of his heart. You see, and the true worship will demand change. Every encounter with God requires change. And yet how casually do we worship? It's an emotional high. Puro actuations. You see, when you see God for who He really is, who you really are. And we respond in confession and forgiveness. Si Isaiah, kilala na siya eh. Sikat na siya dito eh. Sikat na siya. And yet, you know, every encounter sa Bible, every meaningful encounter sa Bible, always demands change. Always ends up, yung totoong worship, kahit yung worship natin dito, you should be asking God, God, I'm coming to worship you. What needs to change in my life? Kasi real worship will expose your sinfulness. Kasi worship, i-align mo yung sarili mo sa Panginoon. Ha? It's like akala mo maganda yung kotse mo, tapos dinala mo sa talyer. No. Tapos may kinabit silang electronic, suddenly sa lamakpak palang problema, pero hindi nila papansin. Worship does that. Worship doesn't make you, wow, oh, what's up? Fist bump God? Worship will demand change from you because worship will make you see who you are when you encounter who He is. Pag nag-pray ka, pag nagbasa ka ng Bible, pag nag-offering ka, pag whatever it is, God, it's you. God, this is you. Worship seeks the presence of God, not His presence. Yung presence, regalo. Marami sa atin nagpe-pray para magpalain, nag-worship, para magkaroon ng emotional time, ang saya-saya. Hey, the Bible says the presence of God is fullness of joy. I understand. Pero yung sa'yo, iba eh. Iba dito mga kabataan eh. In the presence of God, there's fullness of joy. No. Yung crush mo na joy. Joy ba ang pangalan? Yun. No. Nagsisimba ka. Dahil nandun yung crush mo. Nasa Facebook ka. Sa loob ka ng church. Katsak mo yung crush mo. Nasa-serve ka sa Panginoon. I understand, human tayo eh, no? Human naman pagkakaas magka-human natin. Nung tuturo ako na Sunday school, yung umpisa, alam ko mali ang motive ng asawa ko kasi sinusundan niya lang ako. And actually vice versa. Susunod lang sa kanya. Until eventually I had my own. Apat kasi that actually is. See, worship seeks the presence of God, not His presence. True worship seeks His presence, not His presence. Ang tunay na papuri ay nagsisimula sa pagsisisi. You cannot worship without repentance. You cannot worship without change. Look at the Bible. Lahat ng significant doon na ginamit ng Panginoon, nagsimula dyan. Ano sabi ni Isaiah? I am a sinner. Ano reply ng Panginoon? You're forgiven. Look at David. Ano sabi ni David? Ha? Search me, O God, and know my heart. That's David. That's David. Moses, sa bundok. I want to see your presence. And God says, okay, magtago ka muna. Moses comes to the burning bush. And God says, Moses, take off your sandals. Banal ako eh. Ikaw hindi. Take off your sandals, Moses. God said to Moses. Until Moses learned to bow down and worship, that's the only time he recognized who the I am really was. Peter, James, and John Jesus says, who wants to come after me? We will lay down your necks. Ibig sabihin, susunod ka sa akin, iwan mo yan. Security nila yun eh. Kala nila pag wala sila doon, hindi sila kakain, sisira ang buhay nila. Mabitaw mo yung necks mo. Dapat ba lahat ng Kristiyano dito tumingin ng pagtatrabaho? Hindi naman po. Pero kasi kung hadlang sa iyo sa pagsunod mo sa Panginoon, ay yung ginagawa mo, o yung relasyon mo, o yung ugali mo, dapat siya mawala. Bakit? Kasi it will keep you from worship. Through worship. Pastor, what do I benefit from worship? Seriously? You would ask me that question. I remember a story my father loved to tell. And I will tell that story. Meron tayo isang bata. Once a year, during the birthday of the king opens the gates of the castle. As the king opens the gates of the castle, any citizen in the kingdom can approach the king. Literally the king, face to face with the king. On the birthday of the king. And you can ask of him anything that you need, and he will give it to you. Basta yun ang kailangan mo, you can prove it, kailangan mo yan doon. That there was a famine, ang gutom. So everybody wanted food. Pero one day lang magbubukas yung gates of the king. And there was a long line. And there was this man who fell on the back of the line. Sabi niya, patay. I'll never get to see the king. I will not eat. Hindi na makakain. Mamatay na lang kami. Gutom na kami. I'll never get to see the king. So when he fell in line, habang yung pila, to his delight, bumilis yung pila. Came fast. Tuntua siya. But by that time, malapit na mag-5 o'clock. The doors were closed. But he says, no. Malapit na. And tapos nung it's about 2 or 3 persons away from the door, may nakita siyang bata who was playing outside the gates of the castle, was playing. Nahulog yung bata. It was injured. Walang tumutulong sa bata. Sabi niya, pag umalis ako dito, wala ako sa pila. I'm going to lose my place. I'm going to go hungry. Pero yung bata, may sugat sa tuhod, ganyan. Dahil gas. He broke his heart. Sabi niya, hindi. So he runs to the child and takes care of the child. He says to the child, hey, I'm sorry, saktan ka, and ginamot niya yung sugat, naging niya yung pamangit, whatever, and he stopped the bleeding, and okay na siya. Sabi niya, so pagtingin niya gano'n, guess what? Sarado na. Nana! Naubusan na siya. That's it. Not eating today. Family's gonna go hungry today. We won't get what we want today. Ganun talaga eh. No? Nung alis siya, sabi ng bata, hey! Mister! Tingin siya sa bata, sabi niya, why are you going home? Sabi niya sa bata, well, I came here for the king's birthday and fall in line kasi we're hungry. But I helped you. So dahil tinulungan kita, nasara na ako ng gate. So I guess I won't eat today with my family, but it's okay. Sabi niya sa bata, ikaw may sugat, I'll take you home sa bahay niyo. Saan ba bahay niyo? Sabi ng bata, diyan. Saan? Diyan sa palasyo. Sabi niya, I'm the son of the king. I'm the prince. Ay maniwala ng ano? Sabi ng mama, bira. Nawala na ako ng pamilya, tulong na ako. Aanuhin pa ako itong bata. Tula ko sa buhok itong bata na ito. So kaya ng bata, inawakan sa kamay, holds him by the hand, says, come with me. Delikado po. By this time, hindi na mercy and kindness. May mga guards din. Malalaking guards with big swords and spears. So they go, sabi niya, just hold my hand. So sige na nga, sabi niya, baka anak ng guard to or something. So, they went to the main gate of the castle, and when they enter, sabi ni Tica, bawal pumasok dyan. I'm just a commoner, I can get killed. Sabi ng bata, no, just come with me. So he holds the hand of the man, the farmer, and guess what? The moment they approach the gate, the guards step aside and let them in. Walang salita. Sabi niya, baka anak ng guard. No, nasa alas niya ngayon. Now enter the outer courts. Sabi niya, okay, you prove your point, I need to go home. Mga anak ko na sa bahay, nagugutom. Ha? Yung mga kapit ko, nandun, yung nakakahingi namin. Sabi niya, no, I told you, come with me. Trust me, come with me. Sabi niya, sige, sabi niya, baka anak ng kusinero to. Bigyan ako konting bigas. Konti lang. Sabi, huwag yung upgrade. So, sige na sumama siya. So, they walk again. And now they're coming into the courts, not the kitchen. Hinawakan yung kamay. Sabi niya, bawal ako dyan. I could die. I can't go in there. Sabi niya, bakit? No, you go with me. Sabi niya, baka anak to ng mga handmaiden, mga alalay. And guess what? Ang lalaki ng guards, and they approach the castle courts, and boom! It opened again. Sabi niya, baka naman talaga? Hindi posible. Kasi does it look like it? Mukhang normal lang siya. And they walk in. Sabi ko nga, sabi niya, let's go. You prove your point, you win. Uwi na tayo. Uwi na ako. Sabi bata, no. You're not done. We're going there. Sabi niya, di ako pwede ron. The mere sight of the king can kill me. Sabi ng bata, it's okay. You're with the prince. Ayaw niya maniwala. Nakabahan na siya. No, you trust me, go with me. So again, obey na naman siya. Hawak niya ang kamay. Now the king's guard ang mga bantay. Hindi na ito biro. These are the Navy SEALs, the big guys, the killers. This is them. And he approached it, and his heart is beating, 300 kilometers per hour. And they walk in, and right before, no questions asked, the guards open the door, and he walks in, and the king was sitting at his throne. Sabi ng king, who are you with? Dating ng lahat. All the guards came. Sabi ng mama, patay. Ito na, Lord, bahala ka na po sa mga anak ko. Nabahala na siya eh. Sabi niya, no, Father. Father, nakatingin sa bata. He was in line because it's your birthday. And I fell down, and I hurt my knee, and I got all these bruises and cuts, and he's the only one who left the line and helped me. But by the time he left, sarado na yung pila. So I brought him here to you. Can we please help him? Sabi ng king, because you came and put my son first, I will put you first. And between now and as long as you're alive, your family will no longer be hungry. What's the moral of the story, Pastor? Sometimes we walk around and we think we're so important. We think we're such a giver. We think we're such a pastor, such a servant, such a prayer guy. We forget that our number one job first is to worship. And when I say worship, it means to recognize who is King upward and to recognize my filth and dirt. And if I'm going to be blessed by God, if I'm going to experience God the way He wants me to experience Him, I really need, kinakailangan ko ng pagbabago. Kung hindi, nag-church lang ako. And I missed the whole point. I'm not here to guilt trip you. I'm just trying to show you. The true worship seeks the presence of God. Pero bago ka makapunta sa presence ng Panginoon, kailangan may cleansing muna ng Panginoon. There must be an inward act. Because pinadama ka lang ng Panginoon. Hindi tayo karapat dapat to be the place of God. And yet, He's just. He is justice. He's judgment. He's holy. He's pure. And yet, He allows us na pumunta sa harapan niya dahil lang mahal niya tayo. Ganun lang. Truth be told, nung panahon ng Isaiah, itong ginagawa natin ito, bawal to, patay tayo lahat. But because of Jesus, we're able to come to Him. I'm going to go ahead with this verse so you understand. Can you forward me to the last verse, please? Next slide. Next slide. Second Corinthians 5:14-15. It's slide 10. Notice, I love how this verse, gusto ko itong verse na ito. It explains para tayo nakakalapit sa Panginoon. Yeah, see that? Either way, Christ's love controls us. Since we believe that Christ died for all, and we believe that we have died into our old life, He died for everyone, so that those who receive His new life will no longer live for themselves. Instead, they will live for Christ, who died and was raised. Ito palang, meron ako, para lang gawin yan. Hindi pala para sa kumikat ako. Yung pala pagkata natin, yun lang pala yun. Living for Jesus. Father, I come before you so humbled, Lord. Kasi po, Panginoon, pinapayagan na kami tumayo sa harapan mo. Father, this morning, humbly come before you. Just like David, search me, O God, and know my. Just like Isaiah, we are unclean lips, unclean minds, unclean hearts, live with unclean people. Just like Moses, Lord, we take off our sandals and bow. Just like Peter, James, and John, Lord, we lay down our nets. Kasi Panginoon, sa iyo naman galing yan. Talento namin, trabaho namin, kakayahan namin. Sa iyo din po lahat yan. Ibaba mo na namin. Tapos kami po muna yung lumapit sa iyo. Forgive us, Lord, when we forget your character. When we come into worship, when we pray, kung mag-pray kami, kung mag-offering kami, kung maglingkod kami, kung mag-ako kami, nakakalimutan namin kung sino ka po talaga. Napaka-casual namin masyado pa. Patawad po, Panginoon. Patawad po, Panginoon. Kung hindi ka po kami nagtawad sa iyo, magtatama sa iyo, hindi namin makikita yung tunay na plan. Because Lord, when we encounter who you are, then we will encounter who we are. Only then and only then. Lord, as every person is here, here this morning. Speak to them. Lord, if there's a person here, Panginoon, na wala siyang naalalang time sa buhay niya, na sinabi niya sa iyo, Panginoon, baguhin mo yung buhay ko, change my life. Forgive me of my sins. Let me know you. Not a religious you, not a blind followership, but to really know you. That God, let them come to know this morning, the Panginoon, we don't come to you. You actually came to us. The Lord, we don't sing to you. God, you sing to us. Yung kanta namin sa iyo galing, Lord. Lord, we don't preach for you, but you preach to us. Lord, we don't answer your call, but you compel us to follow. Help us to be true worshipers today, so that when we pray, and when we give, and when we do what we need to do, Lord, it will be all just for you. God, I pray today that you would do that, confound their heart, just like you have done with mine. And help us to come to you, Lord, with true hearts of worship. Ngayon, umaga pa rin. Help us to come to you with true hearts of worship. Please.